Hey guys, welcome back to another anime Shenanigans. I'm joined once again by my friend Gore,
Hey.
and today is a very fun episode to cover. This is episode, what is it total? Like, it's 61 total, but I don't
61.
know.
23.
23 of season 3.
Yes.
Um,
Two more.
this is the most recent dub at the time of this recording, and this is a pretty action-packed, amazing episode, and a lot of fans have already claimed it's their favorite of the series. I don't know if I'd quite say that, but
No.
it's like top 5. I'd put
Yes.
it top 5.
It's top 5, definitely.
Yeah.
The fight's pretty awesome.
I don't know if I can put it above like the All Might stuff because that was so good.
Yeah, and also like top number 2 for me is Deku versus Muscular. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Funny enough,
whew, that's hype.
funny, yeah. Funny enough, like my favorite episode is actually episode 2 of season 1.
Oh really? That's the
Yeah.
one where he feeds it. He's like, here, eat this. Here's my head.
No, that's the one where Deku like saves Kachan from the
okay.
sludge monster,
Oh.
and then that's when he like, yeah, I don't know. I just like that episode.
Oh, okay.
but-
No, I get you. No,
Yeah.
for some reason I equate that to episode 1 also. I guess I just think episode 1's the longest episode. 'Cause I keep thinking like there's
well,
so
it's
many
been a
things that
while
happen.
since we've seen season 1, so
Yeah,
it's all kind of a at this point.
Yeah. It's only been a
but,
couple months for me actually, but that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
It's been
I mean, I've rewatched season 1
eventful.
multiple times. I should know this by now. But
yeah.
so a majority of this episode, and this is not a spoiler because we're obviously talking about it, is the fight between Bakugo and Deku.
Yeah.
I'd say
Deku.
more than half this episode is the actual fight.
Yep.
So should you want to kind of like start it off, and then we'll just try to, I guess, break down the fight. But it's kind of hard to break down the fight because
Yeah, it's definitely more visual.
stop calling me when we do these recordings.
I'm here.
It's from New Jersey. Get out of here.
Hey, answer your phone. Is that a New Jersey accent? I don't know.
I am here from New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Hopefully, you guys heard my ringtone. It's actually All Might's theme.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
yeah.
good.
So yeah, you want to start us off for
Okay. So here we go. We kind of started off with a like a recap of last episode, which a lot of these episodes start like that. But it actually starts with a recap and then it transitions pretty nicely into new stuff that we see, where we see Bakugo talking shit to Deku. Typical stuff that Bakugo's talking about. But the last episode, of course, it ended with Bakugo kind of wrapping it all together, like figuring it all out. Like Deku has this extreme power and it's very similar to All Might, and he's piecing it all together. He's doing this Sherlock thing, and then he figures out that like, oh, that's All Might's power. He gave you his power, and this one he's trying to get Deku to tell him. Like,
yeah,
show
and
me.
he straight up dragged him to ground beta or whatever they call it,
Yeah,
back where Bakugo first lost to Deku. It's kind of like his haunting ground sort of like zone where he can't shake the feeling of Deku passing him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pretty fitting spot for all of this that's about to happen to kind of go down. And obviously Deku is very reluctant to fight. He's like, no, let's not fight. Calm down. Like, and Bakugo's having none of it. He's like, I want to test to really see how I stack up against you, because I have my own suspicions and I'm going to like kind of test them right now. And so it kind of opens, doesn't it open with Bakugo straight up attacking him and Deku just kind of like dodging?
Yeah, Deku doesn't really want to fight. He's dodging. He doesn't fight. He's just like, I don't want to do this. Kachan, you're my friend. I love you. You're my best buds, right? And
Yeah.
Bakugo doesn't. He doesn't want it. He just wants to fight.
Which is true to his character.
Yeah. It'd be
So
weird if
I do find it interesting. There's actually a fun kind of callback really early on in this episode. So if you remember back in season 1, they're fighting at ground beta, and Deku makes the point of like Bakugo always starts a fight with the right hook, and in this fight Bakugo once again opens with the right hook, and Deku's like analyzing it, and Bakugo straight up says like you're doing it again, like you're analyzing too long, and he like takes advantage of it because Deku thinks it's a fake. Because he starts to really think about it like oh, he knows that I know he opens with the right hook, so it's gonna be a fake. So what do I do? And then it wasn't even a fake. It was just straight up.
Just straight up.
Yeah. So Bakugo's kind of playing mind games with him early on, and explosions are happening, and the little robot that's kind of security around the area just starts beaming this back to Aizawa, who's like on the computer like late at night with a bun in his hair.
With a bun. It was just weird. So at first, I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw this episode, I was like, "Who the hell's that?"
Yeah, you don't see him with his hair up like that.
Yeah.
Which is really funny. And he's like, "Oh crap, it's those two."
And then he goes out and he's just like, "All right, you deal with him," to some guy. You don't really see who it is, but you know exactly who it is.
Yeah, you know who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the principal, obviously.
Yeah. No, it's Mineta. He's like, "Wait, I'll handle this."
That makes sense.
Yeah. So explosions are going off and stuff, and their fight continues. And you have notes on this episode, so I'm gonna let you have.
Now my notes are just scattershot, and I just write down while I'm watching it. I write down real quick, like type it up. So I wrote down flashbacks of Deku and Bakugo's childhood, and just sprinkled out like while Deku and Bakugo, or I guess maybe more Bakugo's fighting Deku, even though Deku's not fighting. There's random flashes of their childhood where they have like, of course, the typical flashbacks of their childhood, where it's just like Deku's like, "Well, Bakugo, you're great." And Bakugo's like, "I know." and there's actually one funny part in the flashback where they're opening like cards. It has like super.
Yeah, they get this holographic All Might card.
Yeah, they both get the same All Might card.
Which I would say is probably equivalent to getting like a really generic like Pokemon card, like a Pikachu or something. That's like, it's really cool, but it's like every pack has one kind of thing.
Exactly.
I wonder. So
yeah, I'm sure it does. Yeah, the other friends that were following probably got them too. But,
I mean, if they had My Hero cards, I'd buy them. I'd buy packs. That'd be cool.
But I don't want to keep calling him Kachan because that's not what I do. Bakugo.
Either one's fine. Because Bakugo is his last name.
What is Bakugo's hero name again? I forgot. Isn't it like,
well, he doesn't actually have an official one yet. Even like in the manga, he still doesn't have one yet. But people call him Lord Explosion Murder.
Oh yeah, that's what he wanted to be called. That's right. So Lord Explosion Murder just keeps friggin' wailing at Deku, and Deku's dodging. And at one point, Bakugo just straight up snaps, and he just breaks down.
Oh my god. Okay.
And he trips at one point, like he's trying to get Deku and he keeps missing, and he just like falls over and he just starts like crying. And I know you want to talk about it, so there you go.
Yeah. So if anyone, like, people always complain about, sub is better than dub. The voice acting in this episode was so good. Like, Bakugo, normally he's always screaming and stuff, and even when he's like talking here, he's still kind of screaming. But the voice actor, I feel bad. I forgot his name. I had it written down somewhere. He did such like a great job with the fluctuations in his voice. Like he sounded genuinely like just breaking down, like really sad and like tormented by this information. Because this is basically the scene where he basically straight up tells Deku, like, I have been holding in this secret this whole time. I can't talk to anyone about it. And like, I feel bad because I think that I'm the one that made All Might lose his power. And because I mean, from his perspective, it makes sense because he was like, he got caught. He had to be rescued by All Might, and that was what made him lose the last of his power. Like, that's one way to look at it. But it's just like, Deku's listening to all this, and they never like open up to each other. Bakugo's very much not like that. He doesn't ever open up to anyone. He's very yell first, feelings later kind of thing. So I don't know. I just thought the voice acting was like phenomenal. Probably the best of the series, honestly.
Yeah, right there. It was really, really well done. I can't remember the actor's name too. I saw someone tweeting at him. I was like, I'm gonna tweet at him too. I thought he did a good job, so I wanted to give major kudos. But he was really, really, really good. And I will say this: the sub. Don't get me wrong, the sub did a good job. Whoever voices him there in the Japanese dub, or just sub as we call it, he did a really good job. But I don't know too much of that version of Bakugo because I've only watched the last, I don't know, maybe 18 episodes of My Hero in the Japanese dub, so not even that many, probably 15. But he did a really good job, and it was very emotional. He did a good job, but this guy really nailed it. I cannot remember.
So his name is Clifford Chaplin.
Clifford Chaplin. There you go. He's actually, I've heard that name before. I think he's in a lot of different.
He's in Fullmetal Alchemist, Brotherhood. He does a bunch of stuff. But like, honestly, as someone, I'm a huge My Hero fan. I'd argue I'm an even bigger fan than Gore. This is the best voice acting I've heard in the entire series. It was really good. I encourage anyone to watch this if you haven't already.
By the way, you definitely are. Just saying.
A little.
I don't even read the manga.
That's true.
I
Yeah,
can't
I'm a
read
fucking,
though.
I'm a
So.
weeb nerd, whatever you want to call me.
Yeah, I'm a weeb too, but I'm like a closeted weeb. Like I don't want to admit it, but I do
I
like
got
this shit.
I got a TV in the closet. That's how weeby I am. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
man. And when I'm in the closet, I could watch Meet Me Enemy.
But yeah, it was really good. Like, also, the guy who voices Deku was great here as well.
Of course. Yeah,
Uh,
he's figuring it out. He's just like, oh, now I understand why he's the way he is. I mean, not really. I mean, he's just pissed because he's an asshole. But I get it. And he's just like, all right, fine. I'm not gonna sit back here and let you beat my ass. I'm gonna fight back.
Yeah, he says like, okay, if a fight is unavoidable and you clearly need this, then I might as well use it as training for myself. Like he says, like I'm gonna see how my shoot style holds up against you, and also one of the other things Bakugo says, he's kind of saying how he's tired of Deku keep passing him in all these different areas of, like he's doing it for himself to prove that he can still pass Deku as well as like get his frustrations out. And so now is it where the fight kind of just dives into straight up just like the fighting?
Yeah, it pretty much, yeah. This is where the fighting gets.
And it's so good.
On.
Like,
all right,
it's kind of hard for us to actually describe the fight. Well, so should we just say like some of our favorite parts of it?
I would say, well, if I could describe the fight altogether, it's a very emotional fight. It's a one-sided emotion because Deku's just fighting because he knows that Bakugo is really hurt by, like, he loves All Might and yada yada, and he feels kind of betrayed in a way. So even though he doesn't like Deku, he thinks Deku is a slimy little shit, but he doesn't like Deku.
Well, I think he secretly kind of does. We'll get to that
maybe
later.
now.
We'll get to that later.
He didn't before. You could tell he definitely did. Maybe now he respects him more.
So as kids, like little kids, I think he actually kind of liked him as a friend. He was still a dick to him.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
like I'd say like after, like during their middle school time is when he was starting to like really annoyed with him. When he was super cocky and like he was like annoyed with Deku when he's being quirkless, trying to be a hero and stuff. Like I think then he like didn't like him.
Well, in the first episode, doesn't he like bully him straight up in like an alleyway or something?
Yeah, he does.
So,
and I think in the first episode, he straight up tells him to take a swan dive off the building.
Yeah,
or something like that. Yeah,
like, Jesus.
Yeah, a lot of times it changed.
Yeah, maybe
he still tells him to like die and stuff, but he says it just like straight up die. It doesn't say like
die or I'll kill you or In any other school, they'd be expelled immediately. But yeah, it's Bakugo, isn't he? He's just gonna blow up the entire building.
Yeah. It's also worth mentioning the animation here is great.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's very emotional for Bakugo because he's going at. I mean, he usually when he fights, he's very violent, obviously. But this one, it's just like he's really like violent, but in a different way. Like it's just like he's trying to convey his emotions through action, which I know that sounds pretentious, but
it was Bakugo's doing his explosions, and you get scenes where he like propels himself forward to Deku like flip out of the way with his a full cowling or whatever he calls it, and it's just like I don't know, it's visually really appealing.
Why does he call it full cowling?
You know, I knew the answer to that once. I don't know it anymore.
What does cowling mean? Because I know what
I think it means
is.
like emergence. Like
okay, all right. Because I know what cowl is. It's what Batman wears pretty much, but you know, like kind of like a mask, but not really. But all right, I get it. Yeah, he's merging. All right, so he's out. He comes.
Yeah.
All right, so the fight is really well done. The animation's fantastic. I mean, we just talked about the My Hero movie that just came out. And the animation in that was fantastic, especially towards the end with the last 15 minutes or so with the action. And
I just saw it, by the way, on Saturday.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, I wanted to see it today again, but I didn't get to. And this is the last day too, which sucked. But as of recording, I should say.
Oh, I have a hot take. As someone who avidly loves the dub, I did enjoy the sub more.
Yeah, you didn't like the villain voice, I'm assuming.
No, I thought all the voice actors in English did a great job, but for whatever reason, like I just kind of felt myself enjoying the sub one more.
Yeah, I actually watched someone put up on YouTube the last like few minutes, not the last few minutes, but the big action pieces in the in Japanese on YouTube because I just wanted to see that scene again, and I knew I wouldn't be able to go, so I was like, screw it. And they did a good job with the. I don't want to spoil it, but that one scene I love with that pose.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So I guess we should also mention there's like a key moment in this fight where Deku starts to do his own sort of flashbacks of like all the growth he's had, and he straight up says like, I'm not gonna let you beat me here.
Yes.
And he says at this point he lets the emotions get the better of him, and at one point he used normally he's been using 5% continuously, and at one point in the fight it raised to 8. So his like new threshold is 8% now, and he's like in that brief moment, like it's not a huge change, but it took like Bakugo by surprise, and like when he kicked him, and Bakugo's like, "Huh, look at that," and like they start fighting again. And oh, dude, the animation that's about to happen.
Yeah.
You want to go? You want to tackle this? I think it's really freaking good.
Okay, so you talk about the one where they're jumping in towards each other in the sky. Is that part?
So no, it's the one before that where
he does the flip kind of.
Yeah, sorry, I clear my throat. Right. Bakugo does like a huge ass explosion first, and like Deku's like getting blasted away, and then they launch at each other like full speed. Like Bakugo blasts himself, and Deku like turns into like big green lightning bolt and like goes at him, and I think at this point Deku does this like ballerina twirl, and then it like lifts his legs, and this is all sort of like it's all 2D, but there's like 3D elements to it.
Definitely.
And it just looks so good. Like,
and I don't even know if there's 3D elements there. I think they just drew it so well, and they added extra frames to the animation that was so smooth. Because when animation, 2D animation, anime or just regular 2D animation in America, American animation, when they try to add 3D, it almost never works. Sometimes there's a few times where it does. Like, I mean, the classic one is like Beauty and the Beast with the ballroom.
Okay.
But here, I think
I just rewatched it, and what it looks like, it's all 2D, but they're using like lighting on the body to make it look like it's 3D. Okay. It's actually kind of cool.
It also looked like they just added more frames than they usually would.
Yes,
like they really went into detail.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually one thing I'll say about the movie too that they did, like the scenes of him like running at the end with All Might and stuff is like really. Like they really focused on making that look really smooth and
like fluidity.
Yeah, the fluidity was really like that was the thing they wanted to nail. It seems like, and
they also kind of did that early in the movie too with All Might as young time. Like they did that kind of there as well. Probably not as much, but
and that's the thing about anime. Sometimes like it looks great and all, but like sometimes the animations are a little jerky. But here, I mean, they really they go above and beyond. Maybe it's because there isn't as much action as some other shows out there. I mean, there is plenty of action, but there's plenty of times where there's
the thing
things happening.
This is a great time to kind of dissect how My Hero does fights versus other anime. Yeah. Most anime they'll have people fighting and it looks great, but I think the thing that makes My Hero kind of stand out is there's significance with each punch. It's not just like oh, he punches him. They show like the whole motion and the weight behind it, and it's not a meaningless punch that the person just takes. It's like it's its own event, like one attack.
Like if this was all real people, then it would feel like you would feel it. Like
yeah, exactly.
Well, there's one part where Deku punches Bakugo in this episode. I was like, damn.
I kind of want to put that as I'm going to put that as the thumbnail for this video.
Yeah, Bakugo looks like he just got hit by a train.
Yeah, this is definitely the thumbnail. Okay, I'm glad I freeze framed on this. Okay.
Which is funny because right after that, Bakugo says nah.
Yeah, so Deku straight up like hits him with a 5% like punch because he can't break his arm again. The doctor's like, you straight up can't break your arms. And he's like, okay, I'll use 5%. Just Dex, they're in the middle of the air. This is after that cool 3D spin that Gore was mentioning, where they both jump at each other and it pans around them, and that was 3D. There's no way that was actually.
I think the environment was 3D. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the environment was 3D, and it pans around them, and basically Deku smacks the shit out of Bakugo's face. Like his cheek is a crater. Like it's pretty great.
And of course we have the narration, like Deku's like figuring out like, oh dude, use 5%. He's getting him, and he's like, oh yeah, here we go. Bam! He hits him. I'm like, there you go, done. Let's wrap it up, boys.
Did Going into this fight, who do you think was going to win? By the way,
I didn't know if anybody was gonna win. I thought it was gonna get broken apart before either side won.
oh, okay.
So I didn't think it was actually gonna be like he won or whatever. So Deku punches him in the face, and of course Deku's like, "There you go, I got him. I beat his ass."
And Bakugo tanks it. Like he's just like,
says,
no,
he grabs his ass.
No, not again.
He threw his ass. He didn't throw it. He missiled his ass to the ground.
Oh, that was one of the coolest attacks. Like Bakugo straight up grabs his arm that he gets punched with, and like flips him below him, and then sticks his other hand up and like makes a jet like propulsion out of his like explosion.
Yeah, it was like a meteor. It was like a seismic toss.
Boom, right into the ground.
A seismic toss from Pokemon.
Yeah. And everything we just summed up, and that's basically most of the episode.
Yeah.
Like at least half of it.
Yeah, that's half.
And they end up on the ground. Deku's defeated, quote unquote.
Yeah.
I feel like if this is like a life or death situation, obviously they'd keep fighting. But
he would still fight.
Yeah, they're pretty tired. Deku's literally on the ground. Bakugo's got his hand on his face, like bends his arm for him, and is like, "You're done." Yeah, I beat you.
Yeah, I beat you, Deku.
And that ends a pretty emotional fight.
Yep.
And lo and behold, wait. So did they say anything before the next thing that happens? You know what I'm talking about, like the next thing that happens. Do they say anything important?
Yeah, no. I think that it's just like, there you go. Even with All Might's power, you couldn't beat me and stuff. Like, he's just talking shit, you know. Yeah. But he's trying to make himself feel a little bit better. He's just like, oh yeah, well, All Might didn't pick the right person, obviously, because he couldn't even beat me with his power. Yeah. Bakugo crying more than Deku in an episode. That's weird.
Yeah, but I'll give him a break because this is legitimate. Like actually, Deku cries for nothing sometimes. And Bakugo, the one time he's cried now, it's like it's kind of legitimate.
Deku almost shot himself to the core of the earth by crying once
during the tournament.
Yeah,
when the Dark Shadow grabbed the band, like when he thought they lost. Cries like a fountain.
That was great.
His quirk all along was crying. That's our theory.
Yep, that's our theory. If that's the case, then that makes sense.
Your son, sorry kid, it's not gonna happen. You're stuck with crying.
Yeah. All right. So Bakugo talks. His usual Bakugo talk to Deku. He's just like, oh yeah, that's right, I got you. They should have gave me the power. All Might's an idiot, whatever. And then of course, who shows up? Mineta. Mineta shows up. He's like, "Hey guys,
my sticky balls will make you feel bad." Okay, it's All Might.
All Might. He doesn't say I'm here because it's a dramatic moment. So he wouldn't rather. Also, he's
so we actually get like even this is a very for all the fighting. There's actually a lot of dialogue in this episode.
There is.
So All Might shows up and he straight up says like. I saw you guys fighting or whatever, but I wanted to let it play out. You guys kind of needed this. And he walks up to Bakugo and he's like, "Do you have notes on this so you can handle it better?" Or
all right. Well, he comes up to Bakugo and pretty much he comforts him first of all and tells him like it wasn't his fault because he hears about the Bakugo blaming himself because All Might lost his power. When Bakugo got kidnapped by the villains, and then of course All Might had to save him, and then All for One showed up. So Bakugo blames himself for All Might losing his power, and All Might shows up, comforts him, lets him know it wasn't his fault. I was losing my power anyway. He was
already at the end of his power anyway.
Yeah, and it was going to happen anyway. I mean, they also took down All for One, so that's good. Yeah. Bakugo's beating himself up just so because he's upset about stuff. So
these are still kids. Like they're like 16.
Yeah,
so
he even mentions that. Like I forget that you guys are just kids. They're like 15, 16. I think they're 16 at this point, right?
Yeah, I think when it starts they're 15, and then a year passes for his training, so they should be 16.
Yeah. So he comforts him. He actually straight up hugs him, and then of course Bakugo tells him. No, he doesn't tell him screw up, but he gets out of the hug. He's a little upset. All Might tells Bakugo that you should work with Deku.
Oh,
and
so this
it could be great.
So he dissects like their problem, and basically it's kind of true. Bakugo's idea of being the best hero is winning, like every fight, just winning against any bad guy. And Deku's sole thing is like saving people. And he was saying, if you combine those two, like that's being a hero, like someone who wins all the fights and saves people. So
even though that's awesome, but I want to see my boy Deku fight. So, well, I know what he's insinuating is that you both work on both of your weaknesses together. So, like, you know, Deku not only saves, but he also fights, maybe. But I have a feeling they're going to team up in the future. and it'll be very much like Bakugo fighting and Deku saving. I just got a feeling. You don't need to confirm anything or not.
Yeah, I don't know anything, actually.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
No.
Oh, well.
That's unknown to me.
Oh, you don't know anything?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because people need to realize at this point the anime is actually kind of catching up to the manga. So
yeah, it's getting close. I heard. Yeah.
Like, if the manga ended right now, there'd be enough content for season 4, but not enough for season 5. I guarantee it.
You think they're just gonna start making stuff up?
You know, I hope not, because that's when filler starts to happen, and that's what happened to like Naruto and shit, where people always complain about filler. So I don't know. I'd rather the show take like a break instead of every 6 months, like once, like take a year break. You know, I don't know. Like I'd be okay because a year is a normal thing for a show, right? Like
yeah.
So
yeah. Well, I mean,
just take.
Look at Rick and Morty. We have to wait about 2 years for that shit to come back. So
minimum.
Yeah, minimum. It's only 10 episodes.
Wasn't there a 3-year wait?
There was a 2.5-year wait for season 2 and 3, I think, in between season 2 and 3. So I guess.
So I'd be okay if this show took a break. Honestly,
so.
Maybe fill the gap with another movie or something. Like
it might have been less actually than 2.5. Maybe it might have just been 2. But yeah, no, I get you. Maybe I guess a movie would be good, but they just did a movie. I don't know if they should go that route where they do movies a lot. You know, like now I know Naruto did a ton of movies. I don't like Naruto, so
Dragon Ball is a bunch of movies.
Yeah, I like the Dragon Ball movie. Okay, you know, never mind. I like the Dragon Ball movies. Never mind. Yeah, do it. Yeah, that's fine.
And I mean, I'm sure the movie was profitable for them. I don't think the budget was like.
No, it could have been. It had to have been maybe triple the amount of a regular episode.
Maybe. Really, you think so? That's what I thought. I thought the movie felt like a really good episode on steroids, kind of. Yeah, like the animation is just a little sharper. It's not like crazy.
No, it's definitely not
except for maybe like the ending thing, but
yeah, the ending. But like compare that ending to like a really awesome moment in some of the like the All Might fight in season 1. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on on the screen.
For anyone, for anyone who hasn't seen this episode yet, there's certain moments during the fight that look really high budget. Just imagine that for like 15 continuous minutes at the end of like the movie. That's pretty much like, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like they blowed a lot of their budget on that last 15 minutes in the movie too. Because I mean, there is action here and there, but it's not continuous. That's for sure. But yeah, no, I think it was probably maybe 4 times the budget of a regular episode. I don't see that being like any more than I don't know whatever $1 million is in a.
I mean, let's say the budget was $2 million. Let's just say it was that. $2 million. They made double that alone in the U.S. I don't even know what the box office was in Japan, but I imagine it was a lot.
Million.
Okay, yeah. So and not to mention like the merchandise and obviously Blu-ray and stuff like that. So I would imagine they more than well like quadrupled their money.
Yeah. So I mean, it's definitely profitable to make a movie. That's for sure. I wouldn't be against a new one. I don't think they should go that route where, like, all right, we have to wait like a year and a half or so for another season, so let's just make another movie. Because then they're just doing it so people don't get bored of waiting, and then the movies might end up not being very good. Also, that could also delay the next manga because I don't know the guy who's who's the guy that does the manga. I know
his name is Horikoshi, I think.
Horikoshi. Okay, he have some say in the anime? I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, he has all the say. Well, basically, the anime is like 95% loyal to the manga, and he makes the manga. Yes. And the movie, he was the creative producer, like the creative director, like consultant or whatever. So they consulted with him to see if it's okay to like add this stuff to the lore, blah blah blah. So he had a huge hand in the movie as well.
Okay, so if he's doing a movie, then it takes away from his time from doing the manga or manga. However,
yeah, I'd imagine like. I don't think the movie took up that much of his time though, because we said, it's kind of like just a glorified episode, and most of it was just like, I don't want to say
it was like a whole arc. It was pretty much a arc.
Yeah.
It was an arc, like one short, like 4-episode arc.
Yeah, So anyway, back to the episode. We've
we're almost done.
Long enough.
Yeah. Okay.
So Bakugo kind of slumps over and he's like, okay, so like, just tell me who knows about you and Deku, like your relationship. And All Might's like, the only people who know of our like combined secret is Recovery Girl and the principal, which not necessarily true. I won't say who knows, who else knows, but
well, I know. Well, he doesn't know who Gran Torino is, so
yeah.
If he said Gran Torino, Bakugo would be like, who?
Yeah. So there's that, and then basically that's that at that point All Might was saying then like be like each other, like build off each other.
Yeah, build off each other, and there's even a point where All Might tells Bakugo the entire backstory of
because Deku starts narrating and he's like, so like All Might then told Bakugo everything, like
which they should have put a narration. So we ran out of the budget for this episode, so we can't have them talk. So I'm just gonna skip 10 minutes later.
Well, to be fair, that's exactly how it is in the manga.
Oh,
like,
is it?
Say,
well,
like,
it makes sense because do we really need All Might to tell us again?
No, because we know. It's just like just letting us know that Bakugo is being told everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I would have liked to see Bakugo's reactions though.
I'm pretty sure he just stayed kind of quiet and like slumped over most of the time.
And he would have been like, whatever.
Yeah, and then he's like, he says like, I'm guessing this is a pretty big secret. Don't worry, I'm not going to tell anything. Like demo Deku over here.
Yeah,
like I kind of like that because he's like, don't worry, I'm not going to be an idiot and say the secret like this fool. Because Deku did, he did screw the pooch. When he did season 1, he did say like someone gave me this power. So yeah,
that's true. He opened his mouth. I mean,
now, I don't know. I still think that Bakugo would have figured it out even if he didn't tell him that, but. It definitely helped.
Well, he did figure it out. He's just like, it was All Might, right?
His suspicions stemmed from that, and then once it started to grow with more everything that happened, like so.
But I guess you never see. I guess Bakugo never sees him and All Might together, like just by themselves. So
yeah,
it's usually whenever he sees All Might and Deku, it's during class, maybe. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, All Might is a teacher, right?
Yes.
How come he's never teaching? I never see him teaching. Whenever he teaches, he runs out and goes, "I'm here. Let's go to the thing."
Well, as of right now, isn't he still recovering from his injuries? Because he's got like bandages on him and stuff still.
True. But I want to see him teach, or like one class, just one episode filler, just him teaching some class. Because I'm assuming he does other classes. I just want to see like one class for UA. Where we just get a bunch of random students we've never seen before, and he tries to teach them, and they're like the worst. Like, but we're not gonna get that.
Well, there's only two hero classes, like in terms of groups of students at UA.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought there would be
class 1A and class B, but there's multiple grade levels, so it's like there's 3 grade levels, and I'd imagine there's 2 classes per grade, so there's 6 total or something like that. So it's probably like at UA it's probably like 200 something kids. Or something like that, probably.
That makes sense. That's around.
I mean, it is an elite school. It's not like a public.
Yeah.
So they're walking back, and Bakugo says, "I'm gonna like you can't lose Deku. Like if the strongest guy on the planet gave you the foundation, like it's inexcusable that I beat you." Like he straight up kind of says that.
Yeah, pretty much. And he even says like, "I'll surpass you, Deku."
And then and Deku's like, "Well, I'll get stronger than pass you." And then Bakugo gets pissed. He's like, "No, what'd you just say to me? Like,
what'd you say?" No, I said I'll pass you. And then Deku's like, "No, I'm gonna pass you. I'm gonna get strong." And then All Might's like, "Huh, the boys aren't they crazy?"
They finally are true rivals or whatever.
And then Bakugo murders Deku. I was like, "Oh, damn."
And then it cuts to Aizawa like pissed, and then just strangling them with his scarf. Like
he takes his frustration
it's like 2 a.m. Why are you guys out like causing trouble or whatever?
Just strangling both of them.
And then All Might's like, "Don't worry, blah blah blah." Like Bakugo is having an inferiority complex thing because it's my fault, and like he, And then Aizawa was like, who threw the first punch? And Bakugo's immediately like, "It was me."
Of course. Oh, he's definitely gonna admit that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let Deku sucker punch me.
I wish they kind of added like, "I threw the first punch and I threw the last one as well."
I beat him, by the way.
So then Aizawa was like, 4 days house arrest for Bakugo, 3 for Midoriya.
which is great. Yeah, I like that. Because at first I thought they were both going to get equal punishments. I'm like, Deku didn't even want to fight. He was just defending himself, getting dragged down in the middle of a fake city.
I mean, yeah. He's not innocent, but it's not like...
I mean, he's partly innocent because
at least he got less punishment.
What was he gonna let just Bakugo destroy him? He would still get punished, I bet.
Yeah,
Deku, it's all your fault. Kick him.
But they do have a history, so as always, probably like there's no excuses. You guys are. Freaking...
The history is very one-sided, though.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. Stop being mean. I hate you. I hate you.
Well, Kaichan, you did great. I hate you. I hate you. Die. Yeah, I'll kill you. I'll kill you. You suck. You're horrible.
But that's funny. As we say that, we cut to the post-credit scene. You want to go ahead? Nice. I love this.
Okay, so both Deku and Bakugo are under house arrest, so they're cleaning up the I guess the lounge portion. Yeah, they're vacuuming, cleaning up all the trash, and all the other students are like, "Whoa, you two fought? Huh? That's crazy." And they're just gossiping about the fight, and then they all leave. And then Deku and Bakugo are just having a quiet moment. And then Deku asks Bakugo, they're not looking at each other, by the way. Deku asks Bakugo, "So how'd you like my what's it called again? The challenge? My shoot style." And it's like a 10-second pause. So of course Deku's just like even closer to his face, where he's just like
he's not gonna say anything, or he's gonna yell at me. One of the two.
And Bakugo said it sucked. He said something. No, he didn't say it sucked. He said he at first said a negative where he's just like it's too obvious, right, or something like that.
He's like, it's like you're not. You need to you can't just stick with that. You got to mix it up with your other stuff. And then he's like, I will say though, when he threw in your punches, it really pissed me off.
It really pissed me off.
Which is kind of
a compliment.
Maybe that's like a, it's like a tip of like how to use it better. Because if it makes him mad, it means it's good.
Yeah, it's good. Someone punched Bakugo. You don't really see that too often.
Which is nice. I love that moment because it's like, not that they'll be friends or anything, but maybe in the future it opens the door a little bit, a little crack in the door.
Maybe. I doubt it. I don't think it's gonna change much.
I think it could happen.
I think it could happen, in like a movie where it's not part of the canon.
Well, what I was thinking was like, how currently, well, not currently anymore, but Endeavor was super pissed being number 2 behind All Might.
Right.
Like, is this gonna end up like the same situation where Bakugo's super pissed being number 2 behind Deku?
Yeah. I mean, we already know. We already know he's gonna be number
sad. 1. Like. That's how it ends. Like, obviously, Deku's gonna be number 1 because they even said he's gonna be number 1. But
or maybe they're buds and they're just like, maybe like we cut like imagine cutting a few years into the future and just watching the last episode of My Hero Academia and they're like best buds. You'd be like, what the like this is strange.
I'd be okay if it happened organically, but
no, I know. But I'm just saying, like if you just. Like you went into a coma and then woke up 7 years later and you're watching the series finale and they're all grown up or something. They do like some Naruto Shippuden thing or something like that.
Yeah.
Where they skip a few years, and Bakugo's like, "Deku, my buddy." He's like giving him a friendly hug or whatever. Yeah. Like, ew. I don't like that. I like when he's screaming and yelling at him.
Yeah.
But I'm sure
what if Todoroki's number 2 and then Bakugo's like number 3?
The bad guy.
And then he's just like super mad.
Yeah. Oh, he's the new Bakugo. You know what? We should predict what will happen at the end of where all the characters will be at the end. Jiro would be dead. She would have tripped and died. Yeah. I think that's a fitting death. I
don't know. I feel like that. No, I don't know that much as people think because the manga really isn't that far ahead anymore. But I can only assume, based on everything they've been saying, is the whole theme of the show is going to be that you don't need a pillar of support. You need like a team. So this whole Class 1A and even Class B to like an extent is going to be like just super great heroes, So
do you think? All right, here's my prediction. You know how Deku always says, "I became the number 1 hero." Do you think they're gonna, because they're also doing this whole like we need more of a team thing? Do you think when Deku says he's the number 1 hero, what he actually means is that somehow because they work as a team, Class 1A is number 1 as an entire team, and
I'd be okay
number 1?
With that. But
if that happened,
I mean, obviously he is going to be the number one, though. I mean, he has the best power.
He also
so
keeps saying he's number one. So, but
yeah.
he could be the leader of Team 1A. Like, if they just ended up like, I'm assuming they get a different name because they wouldn't be in school anymore. But yeah, I could see that. Just the whole team as a whole, is the number.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, because they even said that during the license arc, like the people, their logic behind the license exam, like people who are making the test, like they're not trying to get a replacement for All Might. They're trying to breed like a group of really good heroes.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And as a team, they work together well. So if that's what they're building up towards, then that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, that
obviously in the future they wouldn't travel as a pack of 20 like people.
No, of course not. But it'd be like Justice League.
In groups of like 3 or something, you know.
Yeah, but it'd be like Justice League, where Justice League has like dozens and dozens of heroes.
Yeah.
But they don't all just hang out. Like they go into
they have like
one
an Avengers
room.
Tower.
Yeah.
Just like
exactly.
Oh, we have Flood, Froppy, you, Todoroki, and freaking like Momo go or something.
Yeah, it's like bunches of them hang out or whatever, or maybe a couple of them do missions. You know, kind of like Captain America.
That'd be sick, actually. That'd
be cool. Yeah, like the Invisible Girl's doing like some spy stuff in Soviet Russia. I don't know why it's Soviet
even have
Russia
like
anymore,
freaking Jiro with her or something.
I don't know why it's Soviet Russia anymore, but whatever. It's back. I don't know.
Zarya's like, I don't know.
It's Zarya Overwatch, but. It would be really. You see, now I'm excited for the future of My Hero, where we skip a few years and now they're all like pro heroes and they're doing like weird missions.
I wonder how big Deku's gonna get. Like, do you think he'll be big and buff like All Might? I'm thinking he'll be like a little bit less than that. You know, like because All Might, like we've seen glimpses of him as a kid and even as like an adult kind of, and he's never like as big as he is in his buff form.
No, so. he's definitely still a little bit smaller.
I
would say. If it'll be, I don't know, because we don't really know too much about how All Might's quirk works when it comes to, because his weakened state, I don't really get it. Is that what he normally looked like before?
So, I'll say all this without spoiling anything, obviously. Okay, so basically, it's like All Might really was that big when he was in his prime. Like he was that. Like I mean, you saw the movie. He's a big guy. Yeah, that's his normal body.
Okay.
Like, and ever since his injury, his actual body is just like deteriorating because his like respiratory system's shot and his like stomach's nearly gone and stuff like that. So when he uses his power, it brings him back to what to look and be strong like his old self used to be. But when he reverts, that's what his body currently is now.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get it. So now he's just crappy. Just because he lost.
He is amazing. Shut your mouth.
No, he looks crappy.
Yeah,
he looks crappy. He's a good man. Yeah, we just all aspire to be All Might. Unless your game comes out the same day as Red Dead Redemption 2, then screw that. I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
That's good, by the way. I wish I didn't do that.
They shouldn't have done that. I don't know why they did that.
Before we wrap this episode up, we need some housekeeping. We gotta see the answers to last week's question.
Oh, okay.
So last week's question was, if you had a sidekick, what would their name be and what would their power be? We had 2 answers. Okay. I know. We got to step that up. Everyone who's listening. We get more answers to this.
All right. Sorry. Let me interrupt this podcast real quick just to let you guys know that everything we're about to say in this portion of the podcast is not correct. We were going to put the questions portion in the beginning of the podcast, but we didn't do that. We were going to, but it went way too long. So we felt like it should just stay at the end. For now on, we will put the questions portion in the beginning of the podcast. So anyway, enjoy the rest of the podcast. Bye. I love you. Actually, before you do that, here's a suggestion. Should we do the next question like as a separate portion and then put that in the beginning of the podcast?
Yeah, we can even just even put this in the beginning. So.
Okay, we could put it in. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the discussion. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
You heard the explanation, so there you go. You understand why.
You're gonna hear "Welcome to this discussion" twice now.
Yeah, we're gonna discuss.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot.
So if you're listening to this was actually recorded at the end of our discussion, but we forgot to do the questions at the beginning. So here they are now.
There you go. For now on, we'll do it in the beginning.
Yeah, we'll try. We'll try to remember.
Okay.
So last week's question was, if you had a sidekick, what would their name be and what would their power be? We had 2 answers. We had from Kim, we had my sidekick is Jackie Chan, like the Jackie Chan. He does all the fighting for me since my superpower can't even help Steve's best friend, Uncle Twice Removed. Who's Steve? I don't know. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Jackie Chan.
So we have Jackie Chan, and Jackie Chan's a beast, so I respect that.
Jackie Chan's good. It would be like Green Hornet. You ever watch that? Where like the Green Hornets, yeah, he's effective, but you got Kato, who's nope, I was about to say Jet Li. I'm racist. Bruce Lee. It's just, it's Bruce Lee, and he just does all the work. It'll be like that. That would be the kind of sidekick Jackie Chan is. You're like, oh, Jesus.
And then we have a second answer. My sidekick would be a literal refrigerator with legs, face, and arms. But when I take things out of him or put something in, he screams in pain, but doesn't feel pain. He just does it as a joke.
All right. He'll be screaming a lot for me. I like
that seems like a very Rick and Morty thing, like a refrigerator that he doesn't feel pain, just screams anyway.
That or like a Family Guy joke.
Yeah.
Like good Family Guy.
Oh, yeah. Family Guy's very hit or miss.
Yeah, well, early Family Guy is great, though. Like early, like 1999 Family Guy.
Oh, yeah.
Or whenever it came out. But, all right, cool. I guess we have to come up with a question for this week. I think I have a good one.
Okay, go for it.
And I hope this one doesn't upset people because I'm going to mention something I'm sure nobody wants. But if you were, or we were forced, not that we were forced or anything, but if there was a live action My Hero Academia movie being made, either in Japan or America, you can answer either or, whichever one you feel, okay with, who would you cast as All Might?
Ooh.
There you go. It could be a Japanese actor if you know any Japanese actors. If you want a Japanese, I'm sure everybody would rather have a Japanese live action one, even though
just
they've been
The Rock. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Well, I'm kidding.
No. It's perfect. I think you could do it.
Yeah, but like
his smile's amazing too.
Yes, his smile would be perfect.
Yes.
I just think I see him in too many movies now.
That's true.
And I don't want to see him like as All Might too.
But I think he could do a good inspirational speech too. Have you ever heard The Rock talk like about just like in interviews and stuff? I think he could do it whenever he's talking to Deku.
Yeah, I do think so too.
That's a good choice, actually. That's your choice?
But how would you do it in like his shriveled up form? Would you have a separate actor? Would you have like a?
Yeah, you'd have to have a.
Okay, so you're gonna have to answer that two questions, like two actors then.
Or I guess they could do. You know how in the first Captain America movie they had the same actor play.
Yeah, but that's different. Like that's because All Might in his skinny form looks so much different than like it's just his face too. Like in the Steve Rogers incident, like his face is the same. Okay. It's just like on a shrunken body.
I know exactly who should play the weakened version. Weakened version for me is Steve Buscemi. I think that would be perfect. He's got the weird bug eyes, and I mean, he doesn't have like the chin, but I don't think you'll ever find someone that has that kind of chin.
Yeah, that's an anime chin. You ain't gonna replace that.
Steve Buscemi is the weak one, even though he's like 50-something years old now.
I mean, All Might's like 40s, so I don't know.
That's true. So they could put some makeup on him, make him look a little younger. But who would I cast as All Might myself, though? I think Dwayne Johnson's a perfect choice, but if we're not going to go with that, perfect. Yeah, his smile is perfect. But if I had to choose someone else, see, that's a hard question. I know I suggested it, but that's actually a hard question.
Yeah.
And now I have. Who would you cast?
Because first of all, I need someone with like a kind of booming voice, because All Might's like, he ain't
I'm here,
Yeah, I am here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I could do the voice. I can do the voice personally, but I don't look like him.
Yeah, that's true. But that's a hard question. See, I dropped the hard ones, but you have to really think about it. You know what? The guy that is playing Shazam.
Oh yeah,
I think he could do the look. Because I was impressed with what he looked like as Shazam, because Shazam's a bulky character, and he could do the look and he could do the comedic stuff, that's for sure. But I don't know if he could do the voice.
Yeah.
See, this is a hard question. I apologize.
I mean, now to be fair, you guys can also answer a Japanese actor. We just don't know any Japanese actors. So
beat Takeshi. There you go. He could do everything.
Maybe it'd be better for like if you did like, because All Might in his buff form is very American-esque. He's like blonde and he says like United States of Smash and stuff like that. So if you did the big form American and like the small form Japanese or something.
There you go. That'd be a good cut. Like that'd be a good, like if you're making an American one, that's a good way to appease the
I think that'd be cool.
Fans too. It's like, there you go. He's a Japanese actor as the weak one that nobody likes to see, and the American one's the big strong guy.
Yeah, that'd be really racist, actually.
Yeah,
I feel
actually.
bad for suggesting that.
Yeah, never mind. Oops. They should
I
get
didn't mean it, and I did not mean that in a racist way. I meant like, I don't know.
I only realized that might not work after I said it.
Yeah.
After I described it a little bit more, but I don't know. I guess Dwayne Johnson, that would be my choice too. I guess.
Pretty cool.
That's a good choice. But all right, there
could you just imagine him with a big blonde wig?
Yes, I could.
do that.
Well, if he's gonna wear a blonde wig, he should just be Goku too. Dwayne Johnson as Goku. Let's go.
Yeah.
He's an alien. I think he could work. He can nail that.
Oh yeah.
He's playing.
Or you just have Chris Sabat play All Might. Why not?
Oh yeah, there you go. You just get the actual voice actor.
He doesn't look anything much like him, but you know.
Yeah.
You need to save.
Yeah. Oh. One of the guys from the MCU, one of the Chris's, any of them.
Chris Evans?
Yeah, there you go. Get Chris Evans.
Yeah, sure.
No, these are all horrible choices.
All right. So that concludes our question segment.
Yeah. That one
Not sure how Gore wants to edit this. I'll leave that up to him.
Yeah. Edit it out.
Okay. So should we...
Did you have a better question to ask?
No, that's fine. I'm fine with that one. Okay. These aren't anything serious. It's just for fun. We just had an answer where there's a refrigerator that screams in pain.
Well,
so
I mean, that makes sense to me. So.
Yeah. So, do you want to? So we should like wrap it up the episode now. And do you want to like? How do you want to do this?
All right. So that was the discussion. I know that sounded like a really abrupt edit, most likely, in the thing. But if you listen to the beginning of the episode, then you understand why it was a